Good afternoon, class of 2023. This is happening. So exciting. Welcome everyone to the William M. Street Leadership Ceremony for the class of 2023. Thank you, friends and family, for joining us in person. I am not going to stop saying this. It is so nice to see your faces in person, but those of you who are joining us at home too, we are so happy that you are here and listening in, and thank you for joining us as well. So it's just great to have all of you here together. Okay, this ceremony is for the sole purpose of celebrating the thoughtful leaders, students, and citizens that you all are becoming, and encouraging you to embrace your role as impactful student leaders of collegiate next year. By default, being a senior at collegiate means that you are respected, admired, and looked up to by 750 other kids, ranging in age from 4 to 17. It's innate. It's an immediate platform. I hope you use it for good. You have an opportunity, starting now and for the next year, to use your presence and voice to make a real, lasting, and positive difference in all of those students' lives and in the lives of the faculty and staff who love you. I'm excited, I'm grateful for your current and upcoming in the upper school, and I hope that you will work together and with the faculty and staff to make your senior year not only the best year of your collegiate career, but also the best year in the history of this school. Now I am honored to introduce Frank Hill, President of our Board of Trustees, and Kate and Tori's dad, so Karen in the upper school as well. He has been part of the collegiate community for a very long time and does an excellent job leading our school. Mr. Hill is going to tell us more about William M. Street, for whom this ceremony is named. Mr. Hill.
So thank you. I'm going to echo some of the same comments that Ms. Gahan just made, that it's so good to see you all in person, because I did this last year and I saw nothing but covered faces. So it's really good to see you guys. And you're a smaller group too, so fewer number of tomatoes thrown at me if you get the word, hearing from me. But I do want to say that I'm honored to be a part of this Louisville collegiate tradition that actually began as a ring ceremony, from what I understand. But really, though, it's always been about passing the torch to the upcoming senior class. The ceremony gives us an opportunity to reflect on your transition to becoming seniors, and it provides us with an opportunity to reflect on leadership. As the president of the Board of Trustees, I was asked to, make a few comments about leadership. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Street, whose likeness rests on the bench looking out over the courtyard. You probably all, I know, have passed by that bench many, many times in your collegiate career. But unfortunately, many of you probably never met Bill Street. He passed away in 2018, and even though he only attended Louisville Collegiate as a kindergarten student, he was made an honorary member of the class of 2009 at the young age of 71. So for all of his dedication and support and service to the school, we named this ceremony in his honor. Mr. Street was the epitome of a good leader. He stepped up to help our school whenever he was asked. He led the school actually twice as the president of the Board of Trustees, the role that I have today, and even served as the interim head of school for a few months when called, to serve. So he led not by power and authority, but by engagement, collaboration, and kindness. He was a very generous man with his time and talents, and his lists of corporate accomplishments and civic accomplishments are way too numerous to list here today. But Bill Street was a champion for Louisville Collegiate, and he will always be held in high esteem here at the school. When people think of leaders, they often think of great presidents and civil rights leaders, right, from our past, like Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. In fact, one of my favorite quotes comes from Dwight Eisenhower, who was our 34th president, who said, A leader is not someone who barks, cries, or sit down. Leaders do not command. Leadership, he said, is about the art of getting someone to do something that you want done because that person actually wants to do it. Well, what makes anybody want to do anything? It's inspiration that motivates people to act. Great leaders inspire us to act. Leaders, simply put, motivate people to get done that which must be done. But leadership, at least to me, was always something a little bit intimidating. I don't know if you've ever felt that way before. I didn't come from a family of natural born leaders. I always thought that I wasn't blessed with all those things that, great leaders had. So how could I ever lead anybody at anything? Well, leadership does come in all shapes and sizes, and these people who we all think about and recognize today as great leaders didn't start out that way. Every one of us can be, and we are called to be at times, a leader. All it takes is one step at a time, and I know that each of you can take those steps and will take those steps as you become senior. So when your time at collegiate has come to an end, I want you to ask yourself, how will you leave your mark here at collegiate? As Mr. Street has done. Will you step up to help when you're asked? Or better yet, before you're asked? As seniors, will you do things to positively influence others? Can you help a struggling 8th grade student find her confidence through the Louisville Collegiate Sisters Program? Could you take time to pass your skills with a sport to a lower skilled student to ignite their passion for the sport you love? Are you representing your best self on social media? All of these examples exhibit leadership skills and are steps to becoming great leaders. You might not remember looking up to the juniors and seniors when you were in the lower and middle school, but I can assure you that are looking to you, watching what you do and say in the hallways, on the fields, even off campus, way more than you might ever realize. Your words and actions as leaders of the school really do matter. So wear your Louisville Collegiate School letters proud at school and in the community and represent them well. As the father of 2 sophomores who will be sitting in your shoes next year at this time, and someone who takes actual inspiration from you guys, I'm so excited to see you all step into your roles as senior leaders of the school, and I wish you nothing but the best. Congratulations on your success so far. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am really proud to introduce our next speaker, Kat Crawford. She is my role model and inspiration. I'm a big fan of the Kat Crawford fan club, but I know you guys are too. Ms. Crawford has been on the collegiate faculty since 2011. She's the chair of our math department. She's been recognized with the Catherine McCracken Davis Distinguished Teaching Award and has been a leader in campus efforts around diversity, equity, and inclusion. And she was handpicked by you guys to be the faculty speaker at this ceremony. So please give a warm welcome to Ms. Crawford.
Thank you, Ms. Gahan. It's a joy and privilege to work alongside you. And welcome to everyone here in the room and at home. Good afternoon, fabulous students. Look at you. I mean, you look absolutely beautiful on this glorious spring day. And first, let me say I'm incredibly honored that you chose me to speak. Thank you. I am filled with gratitude every morning when I walk into school. It's always quiet and deserted. And when I walk through Davis Commons, I see forgotten books and hoodies and water bottles, calculators, computers, and things. I always shake my head and smile because I know in less than an hour, the school is going to wake up and be abuzz with all of your energy. I've been able to teach most of you, and I'm so glad that I have. I know it's been a tough 3 years. a very challenging academic one now, and with COVID interrupting your freshman and sophomore year. It's clear there is a feeling of loss. That came up today in all of the speeches for Senate leadership. I've also heard from several sources, my advisory, that this class sometimes feels like you haven't really come together yet. A variety of reasons, there's some divisions, the past is left some scars. And of course, that reminds me of something like Lion King. I've always identified with Rafiki. I love how he mentors Simba. And my favorite scene is the one where they're on top of the thing. And Simba says, the winds of change, the winds are changing. And Rafiki responds, the change is good. Simba says, but change isn't easy. And I know what I have to do, but I got to go back and face my past, and it's going to be so hard. And then Rafiki hits him with a stick. And Simba says, why'd you do that? And Rafiki says, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. And then Simba says, well, it hurts. And Rafiki says, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it is you can run from it or learn from it. And then Rafiki swings the stick. Simba ducks. He's late. Okay, keep that in mind. Over the past several months, my 88-year-old mother has discovered puzzles. She doesn't particularly enjoy them. She frankly despises it, but she wants to keep her mind going. And it helps her pass the time because she lives alone. When she showed us her first completed puzzle, she was quite proud. And we even introduced her to puzzle glue so she could keep it forever. But on the last puzzle, something happened. When she finished this beautiful landscape, one piece was missing. She searched high and low. She was so disappointed she couldn't see the whole painting. So today we look at you, juniors, the senior class of 2023, because you individually and you collectively are the leadership role in our school. Each of you. Each of you matter. Each of you count. Each of you have a place here. Each of you have value. Each of you are what we need next year and now. Each of you are beautiful and gifted beyond measure. And each of you are a puzzle piece to what can be an amazing 2022 to 2023 school year. We need every single one of you, every piece. I am standing here giving voice to what every teacher, administrator, and younger student wants to say to you. We need your leadership. We need your gifts and talents and ideas and humor and passion and presence. So take Rafiki's advice, learn from the past, come together as a collective group, embrace the winds of change and let them feel like a cool breeze and stir the imaginations of this class. All of you can create the whole picture of what next year can be. No missing pieces and not one person left behind. The potential themes presented today during the speeches were all in line with what Ms. Gahan said about moving our upper school forward. The themes of unity, growth, discovery, inclusion, tomorrow. No matter what the theme, you will lead us. And I cannot wait to see what you create next year. I believe anything is possible and it will be awesome. And I want you to know, I believe in this class. All of us do. We love you and we cannot wait to see how you lead us. Thank you. And now It is my pleasure to introduce your student speaker. We all missed her smiling face and positive presence while she was in Colorado. And now we are all so glad you are back home at Collegiate. I give you Lady Lloyd.
I'm a little short. There we go. Okay. Hi, everyone. I think we all remember taking our very first steps on Collegiate's campus. As a 4-year-old, walking up to the junior kindergarten house for the very first time and seeing some of the same faces I do today, I could have never imagined the impact Collegiate would have on my development as a person as well as a leader. As a so-called lifer at Collegiate, I think I am able to reflect on our grade's development with a unique perspective. I've watched many of my peers grow up and grow into themselves as leaders. In a school that promotes a growth mindset for their students, I'm sure that any one of my peers could come up here today and share with you their growth since arriving here at Collegiate. Since my preschool debut, I've gone through horrendous haircuts and colors, tried out 100 different activities, made impactful friendships, and felt continuously supported by my peers and faculty through each step of the way. Our grade follows the ebb and flow of each individual it encompasses. One cannot entirely separate the part from the whole, as Ms. Crawford explained. Every gain or loss can be felt in the energy of our class, and as a whole, our grade has faced seemingly insurmountable obstacles to our development. A global pandemic stole the majority of our high school experience, and with it, many opportunities for our grade to cultivate community. During time that should have been spent with each other in lively English discussions or biology labs, we were instead glued to computer screens with little ability to have genuine conversations with one another. Since freshman year, we've had few opportunities for grade bonding, despite the transitions each one of us has gone through since COVID's inception, and despite the addition and subtraction of several students to our grade. I believe our whole class can attest to a factor of divisiveness among our community, but the good news is that it's not too late to rekindle the intentionality of our class's cultivation. I want each of us to consider what we want next year to look like, our senior year. What traditions do we want to take part in? What environment do we want to step into every day in the senior lounge? And how can each of us contribute to that environment? I know these questions have been on a number of my peers' minds these past few weeks, followed by the question of whether or not it's possible to cultivate a true community when so many opportunities and experiences have been lost. As many of you know, last semester I was away at a school in the mountains of Leadville, Colorado, which taught me the principles of intentional community in ways I had never experienced before. They took about 50 students from vastly different economic, geographic, and cultural backgrounds, people who knew nothing about one another, and gave us the tools to cultivate community. Creating a true community is difficult work, and it takes the buy-in of every single person. But within a few weeks, whether on expeditions or in class or inside our cabins, we realized we had to depend on one another for support and guidance. Personally, seeing such a tight-knit community form within such a short span of time made me question how we could develop a similar sort of interconnectedness for our next year. We are hitting the point in our high school journey that requires us to reflect on the idea of legacy. Each grade leaves an overall impression on faculty as well as underclassmen when they graduate. What imprints do we want to leave on the collegiate community after we're gone? What lessons can we impart on younger students and faculty before our time is up? What makes a good senior year? Personally, when reflecting on different classes, the first thing I think about is cohesion and unity. How do students support one another inside and outside of campus? Our grade has never failed to celebrate each other's accomplishments, but how do we further cultivate the care and intentionality of our class in our final year at Collegiate? When I walk into class every day, I am greeted by classmates who understand the power of education, the power of leadership. Our grade is composed of leaders of clubs and sports teams, leaders in the arts and in community service, student government leaders and classroom discussion leaders, And the best part is that no one person in our grade is one kind of leader. They all overlap. And next year, each of us will be an overarching leader of our school community, an example for younger students to look up to. Collegiate fosters diversity among student leaders because our school promotes an innate understanding that each student plays a vital role in the inner workings of our community as a whole. Whether entering collegiate 11 years ago or just this past fall, each member of our class is well aware that our grade is composed of leaders. Leaders whom I know will work together to promote unity not only throughout our grade, but our school as a whole as we step into our roles as seniors. Thank you.
Man, I wish you guys were cute. So cute. Oh my goodness, you're so cute now too. Man, those baby pictures are adorable. Okay, thank you so much to all of our wonderful speakers, Lainey and Ms. Crawford. Those were both wonderful speeches today. Thank you so much. And thank you, family and friends, for joining us today. We are now going to dismiss the class of 2023 to take a class photo. We're going to take it at the original historic entrance to Collegiate, so just right outside on Glen Mary Avenue. So when we dismiss, just go straight out there. And then we are going to meet upstairs in the Speed Commons and on the terrace for a reception. So family and friends, feel free to go straight on upstairs. The juniors will meet you up there in just a few minutes, and we'll see you guys outside for a class picture. Thank you all. Great job.